Hi everyone, my name is Becky and today I will be reviewing Alice in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. There are lots of editions of this book available, but I would highly recommend this one specifically for 7 to 8 year old readers. For those of you who don't know, Lewis Carroll is actually a pen name for a man who was called Charles Dodgson, and he was a mathematician. There are actually 2 Alice novels in the series. There's Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Alice Through the Looking Glass. This edition is specifically based off the former. I've recently fallen in love with this story and in love with Alice's character. I think she is such a curious, intelligent child. She's a little bit outspoken, but I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I really enjoyed this book. It's whimsical, it's nonsensical, and it's just a classical children's book. This is about a girl called Alice who goes on an adventure to a place called Wonderland. So Alice is sitting with her sister one day and she's contemplating making a daisy chain, feeling a little sleepy, when a white rabbit runs past her. He's dressed in a waistcoat and looking at his pocket watch, and he starts talking to himself and saying that he's going to be late before he jumps down a rabbit hole. Now Alice thinks she's never seen a rabbit like this before and it's very curious, so she jumps down the rabbit hole after him and into the place called Wonderland. Once she's in Wonderland, Alice meets all sorts of creatures. She meets animals who can talk to her. She meets Mad Hatters at a never-ending tea party. She meets the Queen of Hearts, who is very quick to behead anyone in her way. And she meets a very aloof Cheshire cat who keeps grinning at her and is also my favourite character. This edition is by Hinkler Books. It's an abridged version for modern readers of all ages. So I'll just show you what the reading level looks like inside. Like most Alice in Wonderland books, this has illustrations. There's the white rabbit for you there. In the middle is my favourite section of this edition, and that is the colourful laminated section. The one thing I would say about this is certainly do not read all of the laminated section because it does go to the end and that's halfway through the book, so I wouldn't read all of the laminated section until you've actually finished the whole book. I think these illustrations really work well for the story and for the reading level. In the original edition, I have the Penguin's cloth-bound edition here. In the original Alice in Wonderland story, this is what the white rabbit looks like. There's the reading level. So these illustrations were by John Tennell. He did the original illustrations. And I just love them actually. There's something about them, they're so classical. One of my favourite parts of the book is when Alice meets a mouse, and this mouse is rather offended because Alice keeps staring at its tail. She also keeps talking about her cat, Dinah. In the original version, something very clever was going on. So if you have a look here, you can see that as the mouse is telling its tale to Alice, Alice is trying not to stare at the mouse's physical tail, but the narrative tale sort of becomes part of the page. So I just love that. I love the pun. So yeah, I really would recommend this book. I know that some people do not like Alice in Wonderland, mainly because of its nonsensical nature, but that's exactly why I do like it. So that's all for today, guys. I hope you really enjoyed this review. Be sure to like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and do comment if you have read Alice in Wonderland. I'd love to find out what you thought of it. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.